How y'all guys doing?
Hey, good morning, Verdis. I just want to ask about you won the right guard competition. What that mean to you, and what was that like for you to get out there and start on Friday night?
Uh, it meant everything because as an Illinois native, growing up in Chicago, 2 hours away, you get to come home and play for your home state team, and I felt amazing. I was happy. Thanks to my guys around me before the game, they encouraged me. They told me like just relax and have fun. And Friday night was a great experience. Under the lights, first game. It was really good.
You kind of had, you came in as a defensive lineman, obviously shifted over last year. How did you, kind of adapt so quickly to that to find yourself starting it, a year after going back to the offensive line?
I'd say mostly I'll start from like last year to now. I feel more confident in what I'm doing, and I just study the playbook more and just watched a lot of film. Listen to people like Doug, Kendrick Green, and Paucho and Vidarian. Just listen to them, ask them questions. I asked over the summer. You can ask. I asked them a lot of questions because coming in, I just wanted to make sure like I knew what I was doing. That to now, I feel like I'm well confident in my ability.
My last thing for you, Verdis, is Rod said you were the most consistent, person out of camp in that right guard battle. How do you stack days? What's the key to stacking days for consistency like that?
Day one, you just go out and practice. You listen to your coaches, you do the technique, then go to film. Whatever you need to get corrected, you correct it. Then next day, you go out and do the same things that you did good, and whatever you have to fix, you fix. Mostly, it's just don't try to. I try not to think about everything I did right, and mostly try to think about the things I did wrong. So that way, I'm keeping myself grounded and not trying to say, "Oh, I'm here, I can do this." Like I want to make sure like I'm level-headed and focused. So I mostly just try to focus on the things that I did wrong, get it corrected.
Thanks a lot, Verdis.
Yep.
Hey, Verdis. I guess when you committed to Illinois after decommitting from Florida State, did you see maybe a path forward like this, like the one you're on now, where, this year you're on the field kind of as a young guy, but you've earned a starting spot?
Yes, I did. Definitely, you can ask anyone here, we all came here for a reason. That's to play and that's to win games. So after decommitting from Florida State and coming here, I knew this could be a great place to call home. I knew the coaches well, and I still feel that way. And I'm just glad that I made the decision.
You mentioned learning from those veteran guys on the line next to you. To see what Kendrick's done, maybe following a similar path that you did. Starting at D tackle, flipping the offensive line. Does that kind of give you some guideposts to follow? As you do the same thing.
Most definitely. When I first made the switch, Coach Rod Smith, he told me Kendrick did the same thing, and look at him. I feel like I made the right decision for me in my football career. So, just having someone like Kendrick who did the flip, it reassures me that it's not a serious uphill fight. It's manageable. It's doable. You can do it.
This last thing, I guess, when you found out that you were going to get the start in the opener, what was just kind of your first reaction to that? Just hearing the news.
I was happy definitely, but I tried not to, get a big head about it. As you can ask anyone. I think it was the Friday before the game. Kendrick asked me, "You might get your first Big Ten start. How you feel?" I said, "I've been doing this my whole life, so I just wanted to make sure I stay grounded and not, overhype, and not lead into the game. Have too much energy and I start messing up assignments, not making the right blocks, So I just try to make sure I stay level-headed going into the game. It definitely hit when I first went on the field. I was like under the lights. I was like, "Whoa, this is actually happening." But I had to make sure to bring myself back down so I can be ready to, go out there and play.
Yeah. Thank you.
No problem.
Hey, Verdis, hope you're well, man. How do you feel you did on Friday night?
I feel like first game was pretty decent. Definitely some things I could, improve on. There's always some bumps and bruises that come with it. Just got to take it and keep pushing. That's my main thing is just keep pushing. Listen to Coach McLean. He's always looking out for my best interests. So I just listen to him. Just go back to work.
Even a guy like Nick Allegretti told me it was hard to play as like a redshirt freshman. Offensive line is difficult to learn. What is the most difficult part of transitioning to being a Big Ten offensive lineman, even coming from like IMG?
Coming from a place like IMG, you see talent every day in practice and in the games, but play calling in the playbook is extremely different. We had at IMG in high school, you get one play and that's it, like for everything. And here, you get code words and everything. And I told my family, like, we got code words for code words here. Like, I'm confused. Like, why do we have all this? So I'll say that was the biggest thing, just trying to, because in college, the playbook is more in depth than high school. High school, all right, line up and just run the ball to the right. It's a pass, this is just plain and simple. Here, if a certain play you have to have the certain footwork and stuff like that. So that's why I say it's the biggest difference.
How do you get comfortable, like where that's second nature? When did that happen for you, or how does that happen?
I just say you got to mess up a lot. You're not going to get it first try. So you just got to mess up, and then it's going to come second nature eventually. I say it really clicked for me when we had quarantine, and like we was doing the Zoom calls, and like Coach McLean was breaking down why we do certain things and why is this football work. And I say that's when it clicked, because like when I transferred over, it was like that automatically, just being thrown in there. I didn't have time to like understand what I was doing. So I think when that quarantine and we had the time to sit down and explain everything, that's when I finally realized why we was doing and what I need to do.
Thanks, Verdis.
Yep.
Hey, Verdis, you can have fans in the stands this week. Will you have family members at the game?
My parents live in town, so I'm pretty sure they'll be there. And I think maybe my brother, but I won't have a lot. My family, they get tested pretty often. I don't think that's something to worry about too much, because I know they're going to do their due diligence and stay safe and stay healthy, and stay away from others.
How will that feel to have them there, though, since you couldn't do that last week?
It'll be amazing to have them there to actually see me on the field. I know I'm in the family group chat, and they, after the game, I read it, they were so happy to see me out there, and there was, it felt amazing for them to know that I was out there playing.
Was it weird not to have fans in the stands? Did it mean it was, how'd you feel about that?
It was a little bit weird, but I think for being my first start, it actually helped more because I can hear calls from Doug and Paltrow and stuff. So
Sure.
that way I'm not franticing, like what's the call? I can hear clearly what was going on. I think that actually played a little bit more of an advantage as well.
Thanks, Verdis.
No problem.
Verdis, I had a quick follow-up. You mentioned a few times how you look more at what you do wrong versus what you do right, and that's how most of your growth happens. Has that always been the case for you, or is that something you've grown into, I guess?
That's a good question. I would say so, looking at what I did wrong, but I say now I look at it more than what I used to when I was younger, because now it's a bigger stage, a different audience. You're fighting for the same thing, but it's at a higher platform. So I think now is a more crucial time to think about what you did good, and I feel like that's what the greats do. All right, I did that well, but what did I do wrong? So that way they can go fix it and correct it.
Thank you, Verdis.
No problem.
Yeah, you're good to go.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Verdis.
Thanks, Verdis.